Good afternoon. Good afternoon. It's 12:56 Eastern Standard Time on a Sunday. What are you guys up to? Hopefully everybody was relaxed. Hopefully everybody is enjoying peace of mind. Let's get into it. Get in here, y'all. What's up? Let's talk about it. Welcome to another Tea with Tea Sundays. I'm gonna get the perfect alignment in here. The perfect alignment. That's my god sister. There we go. Oh, I was like, is it not working? Hi.
Hello, hello, hello.
You look gorgeous as usual.
Thank you, sister. You look beautiful as well. I love your braid out. It came out
Thank
so
you.
beautiful.
Thank you. Hopefully it doesn't poof up because it's so hot and humid here.
What's the weather like? It's like humid.
Hot
Like what's
and humid. Like crazy. It's like in the 70s.
okay?
Yeah, but it's
Same
like
like over
humid. You
here.
can
I hate
feel
going
the
outside,
humidity.
but girl, we getting ready for the summertime
Yeah. Wait, what is it over there? What's the temperature?
in the 70s. So it's like mid
Oh,
70s,
that's
74.
not
Maybe.
bad for New York.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, thank you guys. I'm so happy to
Yeah.
be here. I'm just happy to hold space again and again and again
And again, and
and
again,
again.
and again. I love it. I love it here. I love it here.
We love it
And you guys,
here, guys. Happy
we love it
Sunday.
here. Happy Sunday. So we're talking about moving forward. So last time we talked about the age of Aquarius, right? And how it brings all of these different enlightenings and awakenings and an influx of information, and you're learning that you gotta like let go of certain things, let go of things you were learned, things you were taught, and relearn new things, right? Am I
Right.
missing anything?
Um, for those who aren't familiar with what we talk about on these lives, we often talk about, like Sheila just said, the things that are currently being revealed to our face, like being shown to us, that we can't hide from these things anymore. We're talking about the ways of the old ways of doing and what we're just tired of. So like moving forward, we really want to talk about moving forward. We want to talk about progression. We really want to talk
Yeah.
about, now that we know these things, what are we going to do? Because we often keep talking about the problem, the issue. Now let's talk about solving it.
Right.
Because
I feel like it's a lot of not doing. Like it's a lot of people talking. And I mean, it's okay because that's the process. Like people talk about it and then, each one teach one and then we all learn, okay, this is what it really is.
right,
And then once we're all on the same page of understanding what our mission is as far as moving forward, how we can contribute to it. This tripod is pissing me off. It's not staying still.
oh shit,
But like, learning how we can contribute to bringing forth change, right?
exactly.
Because now that we got all this information, what are you going to do with
What
it?
we gonna do? We're
What
gonna do, because we
you
all
going to
got
do?
we got answers. Now we
Yeah.
really want to do some shit. Like, don't we wanna like really be happy and successful and succeed in life and thrive? There's so many ways that we could do it, especially in our own way. So we're here to share a few words that we have learned in our experiences that we think is really helpful. But all in all, before we even go into it, I want to encourage everybody to start with themselves, trusting how they feel, what feels good to you, because what may work for you may not work for me, may not work for Cheryl, may not work. Trust yourself. That's literally what it's about. It's about,
Mm-hmm.
in this space, more than ever, in this time, in this era that we're in, it's all about trusting yourself and following your passion. If you're familiar with astrology, Leo just went into Mars. It's all about moving towards that heart space. What gives you joy? What makes you feel good? And in order to know what makes you feel good, you got to learn how to know. You got to learn yourself. You got to know yourself.
Yeah, I would say number like that. I don't know which one would come first, or if it would be done simultaneously.
It's different
Um,
to me.
I,
It's
I
definitely
yeah,
different.
I feel like the first thing that you need to do is let go of fear, because we've been so indoctrinated and we've been so like programmed to be fearful of everything. We're scared to take that leap of faith, scared to speak out against certain things, scared to speak up, scared to make certain moves. So I feel like you can't do nothing you can't do nothing when you're scared.
Honestly, I move based off. I move even when I'm afraid. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, it's different for everybody. Like, some
Yeah.
people really can't move or towards certain things in fear, and I actually advocate for like the way I do it. I don't advocate for people to do it that way, because I could do it. Like, I know myself. But like you said, I do agree that it's best to start with that, because then when you're moving towards certain things, it's like you're not moving with that fear energy. But some people, like myself, like, I do things still scared, because if I was to sit down and wait for me to remove the fear, some
It
of
would
us
never get
learn
done.
through action. Yeah, like the way I overcome my fears is through action. So I have to, like, regardless if
Get
I'm feeling
going.
this, I gotta
Same.
move. I gotta move.
Yeah,
You know,
same.
but some people can't. You know, that's what I'm trying to say. Is literally based off. It's very subjective. So we're definitely gonna share the things that we learn, and you guys can feel free to share what you guys are doing too. Like, what are you guys doing on your day to day to bring more peace and success and happiness in your life?
Right. Yeah, because I feel
Peace.
like you said, I think it's important to know to move regardless. Like, because of the fact that you're able to make moves even while you're scared, that tells me that you're self-aware that fear is just an illusion. Fear is just a
Yes,
feeling,
it
right?
really is.
Right.
It's
So,
an illusion.
but
Yeah.
like you said, a lot of people don't know that. So that's why I was like, for those people who are stagnant because they're fearful, I feel like the first thing that they should do is really work on not being
And
fearful.
what's causing that fear? Because we could look at the stuff like the feeling of fear, right? It's all about perception as well. I love looking at challenges as a way for me to just level up. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I did have moments when I saw myself as a victim, and honestly, being in victim mode has not helped me. So what has helped a lot, thank you, my love, what has helped me a lot was trying to get to the core of that fear. Why do I feel this? Where is this coming from? The trauma, like, where did it start? And once I get into that, I could then trace myself. You know what I could do also is, okay, if I am afraid because of this and this and that, let me actually do what I'm afraid to do, so I could get to the other side. Because they always say that your happiness, your success is on the other side of the fear. The same thing that you're afraid of is kind of like you're hitting a wall per se. So if you look at your feeling of fear, look at it as a way for you to get answers. It's gonna bring you closer to your answer.
Right. So, like, basically ask yourself, like, why you're fearful. Like, what am I scared of? Where does this come from? Like,
The questions are so
yeah.
deep.
Hold on, I'm setting up this new phone piece. You can keep talking.
Yeah, so yeah, guys, we're moving forward. That's point blank in the period. We're moving forward. Now we know now that we know what we don't care for, let's move on to what we want. Everybody wants happiness. Everybody wants peace, right? Everybody wants to just thrive and want to be in a space where they're healthy, their family's taken care of. You don't have to suffer. That's literally what I'm trying to get to. I feel like we come into this lifetime feeling like the way towards things
It's
is
a
hard
struggle.
work and struggle.
God, please. Like,
We're
ain't you
not
sick of
doing things that
struggling?
way anymore. We're not doing things that way anymore. So I really wanna get into like perception, because what do we tell those who are actually facing these struggles? Because let's face it, we could be delusional, right? But we can't dissociate ourselves through certain things all the time. There's gonna take some facing it, right? That's where perception comes in. That's what I'm in UK, London. Oh,
can I see America? Oh, hey,
Aww.
love to
Let me
UK.
show you a
Love to
little
the
bit of
UK.
my background. Hopefully, it's not foggy in the background. Hold on, guys.
He said, slow down. Let me see. Can I see?
You see America? I mean, this is my backyard. You can see that.
So
if you want to see more of
peaceful.
America, I have a YouTube channel where I be vlogging a lot. It's I am Shandy Love. So tune in and link in my bio.
Yes, check her out.
I definitely be vlogging my life away and showing all the scenery. So if you want to see more of America, look in the link in my bio. I am Shandy Love.
Yeah, and this is my. Can I switch my camera? This is my background right here.
Lovely.
Well, aside from the tripod, but yeah, it's a lot of grass, a lot of greenness.
Yes.
It's cloudy today. I know in the UK it's super. It gets super.
Does it
Like
get colder?
fog. Is it fog?
I don't know.
I think it's fog that they suffer from. It's always foggy there.
Damn, like lack of sun. That's another thing. We need sun, guys. We need sun.
Oh yeah, we were just talking about that. Like when you find yourself like hiding from the sun, like they trained us to do.
Mm-hmm.
I got a lot going on today. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm like wondering what the fuck is happening.
I was moving around. I was doing the most. But when you find
yourself, talk about that too. Regulations of the nervous system.
Yeah, when you find yourself like avoiding the sun because that's what they taught you to do, you're actually shorting yourself because the sun is medicine. They tell you not to look up at the sun, but the sun gives you it helps to improve your vision. The sun can help cure your headaches.
Everything.
Vitamin D comes from the sun, and this vitamin D, like enough sun exposure, can help you with cancer and other illnesses. It's so much.
So if you're in a space where you don't have a lot of sun, you could do things to bring some sun in your life. It won't be as effective, but it could help. You could burn a candle and look at the candle, do fire, do gazes at the fire, do some breath work, solar plexus movements, yoga,
yeah.
dancing.
That's a must.
And just try your best to get as much sun as you need. Because when in New York, when it's winter and it's cold out, I still be able to try to get some kind of sun, like some kind of like I look at the window, the sun is coming out, I run to it. Like
yeah, open your blinds up.
That
Open up your blinds and your curtains.
I don't play that. Yeah.
Yeah, we need that sun. So and I feel like that's one of the things. That's one of the things that we should be doing, like trying to do things the opposite way of what we were taught, right? So if they're like, if we were raised like, oh, don't look at the sun for too long, put on your shades, put on your suntan lotion. It's not the sun that's giving you cancer, it's your suntan lotion. Have you ever looked inside of the ingredients for the skincare products that you use? It's not the sun. Like you don't hear of our ancestors having cancer.
Exactly. Or like even like about the perception again. Have you guys heard of placebo effect? I practice it a lot. Listen, when it comes to anything, first of all, in the pharmacy world, they're using placebo effects on you guys when they give y'all medications and tell y'all, oh, this is gonna work. Your mind is telling yourself this is gonna work, and that's why it's gonna work. So if you're telling yourself you're gonna get blind by looking at the sun, that's gonna happen. We gotta get to the point where we realize that we are our own doctors and nobody outside of us could tell us what's going to work for us and what's not going to work for us. But right. It's levels to this. It's really levels to this. So when you start working on your mind and start realizing how much power you actually do have.
Right. Exactly.
So the perception, I was getting into what do we tell those who are actually like going through like hard times right now, where things are just like unraveling in their lives, and it seems as if there's like no answers right now. I've been there. I know, Cheryl, you've been there, where it just felt like shit was just crumbling, and
hot as
What
hell.
has helped me? Do you have like a fan of thing, like something like the fan, like those Chinese
Hell
things? I
no, I'm
have one.
outside.
But yeah, perception actually helps a lot with this. Like, for example, whenever I'm going through like difficult times, and there are times when I'm struggling to be optimistic, I could agree. I could admit. I just I allow myself to feel. That's one and foremost. I allow myself to feel in that moment. I take in all the ugly feelings. I have to sit in it for a second.
Yeah.
And when I get enough of it, I'm like, okay, I got enough. What could I do to make myself feel better? What is the first thing that comes to your mind? Maybe you need a moment to go outside and take a walk. Maybe you need to like sun gaze, sunbath. Maybe you need to listen to some music and journal.
Don't run from it.
Don't run from it, because whatever is going on, it's happening for you. That's the perception I'm trying to get to. How are you looking at your challenges? Are you looking at it as life is happening to you, or life is happening for you?
Right, because when you have this victim mentality, and your mindset is in a place where you're just like, oh my God, God is terrible to me. Everybody hates me. Everything is working against me. It's all you. You control your reality. So it's not God.
Real life perception is working against you.
Right.
Because low key, in real life, it feels like you're having a war within yourself, because your soul knows that there's more to what you're going through right now. What you're going through is like this compared to what is gonna happen for you.
Right.
So
and it's in your DNA too.
Right. And you feel
the answers in your DNA.
You feel that pressure, you feel that internal battle, is because your higher self knows the truth. But whatever you're facing right now is blocking you. You're not able to see the bigger picture. So what we're sharing with you guys is how to get to that point of being able to see the bigger picture without doing things that's gonna harm you.
Right.
We often turn to like drugs or alcohol, or we talked about it a lot, Shira,
sex, shopping,
yes,
everything, video games for men mainly, women too, but like anything to not face yourself. And that's why a lot of us are stuck in the same place. Hi to everyone that just joined.
Give yourself the time, like give yourself like, all right. So I love putting in the astrology in this, because it just ties up. We're in the energy. We're really in a lot of Taurus energy, even though we just shifted in Gemini, which is a fast, kind of chaotic season. We just came out of like
so chaotic,
restful, peaceful season, and we're still in that Taurus energy because Jupiter is a very big planet. It's in Taurus right now. North Node, all these huge, gigantic planets are in the Taurus energy, which is all about steadily making your decisions instead of speeding nowhere fast, like speeding somewhere fast. Like you really need to take precautions, steps towards where you're going. So it's all about long term. So that's why we're like, I think it's all tying up. Like we're here to start building our community so we could start making progressive moves outside of this live. We actually want to one day throw events, one day have tours, one day cultivate centers where people could come together and actually create that love energy, because that's literally what they're trying to kill. They're really trying to destroy that love energy, the sun energy, the heart space. So we coming together to do something for the long term. And in your life, if you want to think about something in your life, what are you doing? What are your long-term goals? And what are you doing every day to move towards them little by little? Because that's really what it's about.
Yeah, because it does start within. It starts within. You can't change the world without changing yourself first. Because when you change yourself, when you start working on yourself, then you start to impact the people around you. Sometimes not even knowingly. People are just like, oh my God, like look how much that person has changed. I'm inspired. I want to change too. So that's how you start to change the world. That's why you see a lot of these influencers out here. They're they're hitting big because they're talking about self-development. They're talking about collective development, and a lot of us, because of everything being connected, like you just said with astrology, a lot of us are on the same page right now. Most of us, only the people who are completely running and in utter denial they're the ones that aren't really, they're not there yet. But
And
most
that's
of
okay.
us are on the same page. Most of us want that change. So we really just got to work on ourselves first before anything. And like my biggest thing, and I'm always an advocate for overcoming your fears. Like that fear stops you from doing everything. Fear will stop you from even putting the work into yourself,
Mm-hmm.
because you like, I don't want to face this. Like, I don't want to go back and revisit the traumas I that I had to endure. But that's what you need to do in order to heal, so that you could be a better person.
Your
So
self-work becomes your community work. Your self-work, the work you put in yourself, becomes bigger than you. It
right,
affects everybody around you. Like us showing up today is because of the amount of work that we put in ourselves. We're still putting in the work, but then it also impacts everybody around us. And Sherelle, when you was talking about fear, what came up for me? So fear is something that I feel like it won't. It's an illusion, right? It's fake. We all know that fear is fake. But the energy of it is something that it may continually to show up. As you reach new levels, there's going to be things that you have never done before. So your immediate reaction is to fear it because you don't know much about it. Fear means you need to learn more about whatever you're afraid of. Fear is information. That feeling of fear is basically saying, hey, you don't know much about me. Learn, research, ask questions, try to
right,
figure out more about this thing that you're so afraid of. Or go more towards it because maybe there's something on that side that's really calling towards you. And you little in your heart, but it's just that ego or certain traumas that's blocking you from it. So if we look at the feeling of fear as you're feeling your internal power, is on the other spectrum of courage. Is a polar opposite. So that means if you look at fear as power, as this is something that I feel inside of me, that means I could transmute it into courage. You could utilize that fear and turn it into bravery. I feel like where we get lost is when we look at fear as if it's something that has power over us, when that is a lie.
right, exactly. You're in control.
Right.
You're in control. And sometimes it takes for you to be more present to realize that. To be like, yo, I'm not going to let my thoughts determine what I do. I'm not going to let my thoughts determine how I feel. Because while you're creating your own reality, you're actually in total control of it. Does that make sense? Like, so, I mean, compared
Oh yeah,
to,
that makes sense.
yeah, right. So basically, once you become aware of it, you can choose to not put your energy there. And when you don't put your energy there, it doesn't exist. Like we were just talking the other day, people who were talking about being possessed by demons. Like, they're like, oh, whenever they hear about the spiritual world, they're like, oh, I'm scared of demons and I'm scared of that. Should only exist because you allow it to exist.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So if you don't want it to exist, then you don't put any energy to that thought. Like, see your thoughts. Like when you're able to be completely aware of your thoughts and present, when those thoughts, like, see your thoughts like a screen, like a phone, and like literally just mentally swipe it away. Like if a thought crosses your mind and you don't want to put energy to that thought, just swipe it away and think about something else. And you'll notice, like, if you do that enough, you won't have that thought anymore. But it really takes for you
It
to be
loses
present.
its power.
Exactly. It loses its power because in you recognizing your power, all that, the negative stuff, like none of that stuff really matters because you don't give it any power. Those
Right.
things need power. They need your power and your energy in order to exist.
Exactly. And that goes to show you how much power you do have.
So yeah, you're so powerful. Like the fact that they make you think that you're born a sinner and that you're like this little weakling, and you don't come from anything but slavery and war. And it's like, yo, they don't people don't realize, because they don't even take the time out to dabble into the spiritual world, because they're fearful, they're scared. But when you dabble into the spiritual world, you'll realize that it's nothing more than just remembering what you really are.
Diving into nature.
Exactly.
Which
because
surrounds us. We breathe in.
We breathe it all in.
Nature.
It's surrounding you. There's more than just what you can see. Like, if you guys are familiar with your third eye, you know, like, there's different realms. There's different things happening in different times. Just because you can't see it, don't mean it doesn't exist.
And we could just talk about taking our time on this journey.
Yeah, take your time. Take your time. It's just recognize it. Like, being open-minded, I feel like, is the most productive thing that you can do right now.
Right.
Being open-minded.
Be open-minded and be a solution-based person. Also, if something is happening in your life over and over again, it's like a pattern is showing you that something is just not working, it's a sign for you to do something different.
Yeah, you're forcing it.
It's a sign to do something totally different. So, and usually I think about it too, like, why do we continuously do the same things over and over again? Because what? We're comfortable with doing these things. Even when the results continue to show us over and over again that they're not in our favor, they're unfavorable. What is the opposite of that? What is something that you've never tried before? So, like, yeah, I love the fact that we started with we tapped into fear, because that literally is the biggest blockages. Why people do not move forward, why people continuously do the things that they're comfortable doing, regardless if the results is causing them pain, causing them burden.
And that's why the media makes sure to instill perpetual fear in you. Like, don't watch the news, please.
Energy harvesting.
Don't watch the news. Like, you'll see, you know, they'll show you all of the bad things. Like they'll show you, you know, people getting shot, people getting killed, people dying, and like they show you all that stuff to keep you in a state of perpetual fear, so that you're like you want to stay in your comfort zone, because you're like, oh, it's safe here. You want to stay in your safe space because you're like, oh, if I go outside, I'm gonna get shot. You know, if I talk to this person and I move closer than 6 feet to them, I'm gonna get COVID. You know, they want to keep us all separated, scared, confused, and separated.
That low vibration, that feeds the reality that you don't want to create. So, and then we understand when we're in a low vibration based off how we feel. Literally, you don't need to go to nobody. You don't need to go to me. You don't need to go to nobody. Ask them, are you in a low vibration or not? How are you feeling? Do you feel good? Or do you feel low vibes? Do you feel like life sucks? And if you feel that low vibe, I urge you to do whatever it takes to push yourself in a lighter vibe. That's not gonna happen like 1, 2, 3. And I don't advise people to rush the process of that, because I don't know if anybody know about the frequency scale, like how they have like shame, guilt, and it goes higher, higher, higher to acceptance and love. It's literally like that. It's like a grade. Like you don't go from guilt to love in just one seating. It doesn't happen that way.
Yeah, it
takes
time.
When you are feeling down and you're upset that you're feeling down, you're only feeding the low vibration. So, and I know it's hard. It's not the easiest thing, because I have that experience myself when I love to feel good. Like, oh,
we all love to feel good, but some people don't even know why they don't feel good. Some people are depressed and anxious and stressed out and sad all the time, and they don't know why. And that's why, like, I agree with what you said. You can't rush the process. Sometimes it takes, like, it's trial and error. Sometimes it might be changing up your diet.
or
Huh?
changing up the thought process. What? Because all right. So here's the thing.
Okay. Keep
Our
talking. I'll be
thoughts,
right
right?
back. I'll be
Okay.
right back.
So our thoughts, right? Hi. Our thoughts, right? So it's kind of like when they come up, are we giving power to these thoughts, or are we knowing that we are the one controlling them? Like, for example, when our thoughts come up, are you the one thinking these thoughts? There be thoughts that literally come to you versus you creating it. There's two examples. When you're thinking of an idea, or you're coming up with your schedule, or you're coming up with a to-do list, that is you creating these thoughts, versus when you're sitting down chilling and something pops up into your brain out of nowhere. It's so important for you to monitor these things and monitor where these thoughts are coming from, and also monitor how you react into your thoughts, because your reaction matters. Your reaction plays a huge part in this. Like, for example, when I'm feeling like I am letting my thoughts take control of me, I like to sit and observe them. I like to sit and monitor my thoughts and not cling to them. Even the good ones, even when the thoughts are high vibrational, even when the thoughts are like, oh, I'm about to go out and have fun, it feels good. But I'm exercising my ability to control how I react to things that's beyond my control. So that's a very good practice. I want to also get into regulating our nervous system, because that is going to be huge, especially moving forward as things continue to happen in this lifetime that we're in, this era that we're in. I want to remind you guys that we can't necessarily control what they're doing on the other side. People who are coming up with these stories or spreading all these information on social media, but we could control what we're consuming. If you feel like you're taking in too much social media and you feel overwhelmed, you deserve to take a break off of social media. You deserve to take a break from people, from places. Give yourself that time to like really just breathe and like take a second to really monitor what's going on within. Because if you're always constantly doing, if you're constantly moving towards something, constantly going after goals and stuff, being progressive, you're not giving yourself the time to like sit and chill and get your body get to your like center. It's like what I like to call it. Get to your center. We could also call it grounded. We could call it when you go out into nature and you sit in the grass and you take a minute to just deep breathe and take in all that oxygen. We could call it that too. That's how we regulate our nervous system. And we could tell when our nervous system is not being regulated by again how we're feeling. If your heart is racing, you're feeling it. You're not your nervous system is not being regulated. If you're experiencing anxiety, if you're stressed, if you're overthinking, if you're feeling overwhelmed, that is your body signaling to you, hey, we need a second to sit still. We need a second to get our body back to being centered and grounded. And we could do that in many different ways. I have my own way of doing it. What I do is I literally I take a moment. I don't do anything. And I'm pretty sure that most of us when we experience these moments where we have to sit still, it's so uncomfortable because we're so used to moving. We're so used to doing things and chasing after things. But that is enough to show you that this stuff, these actions aren't natural for us. It's not natural for us to continuously be on the go to the point where you don't even know what it feels like to breathe. We need these moments because when your body feels like, your nervous system feels like it's regulated, now you're able to make conscious decisions. Now you're able to go after your goals with ease. Now you're able to think clearly and avoid accidents. You ever saw somebody, like, for example, I'll be walking, crossing the street, and sometimes these cars be speeding. And I'm just like, where exactly do you have to go so bad that you have to sit. Like, where are you going?
I'm
And
so
most
sorry.
times, is it cool? Most times, they ain't. There's no reason. Even I have to catch myself. Like, whenever I find myself rushing to do something, I'm like, oh girl, no. Cause that is like that's like low vibrational thinking.
Yeah.
And that's a construct that I'm getting out of, because whatever the fuck that I'm rushing to is not worth it. It's not worth me missing something that I need to get somewhere. You ever been go outside to go where you gotta go and then realize, oh shit, because I was rushing, I just missed the fucking thing I need to go outside, the documents that I need to go outside and pay with. Like, it's certain things.
Or you get into an accident or something happens and
they
you just
always
like,
say accidents are signs that you are not in alignment. Any accident, even as simple as bucking your toe.
yeah, you either you're not present, or like we said, like you're rushing. And that's another thing that's an illusion. Time is an illusion. So like, where are you rushing to? You rushing to work, to go work for the white man and then pay the white man bills, like you were saying the other
That's it.
day.
I
Like, what am I really rushing
I ain't
for?
rushing. No train, no bus, no sidewalk sign. I'm not rushing anymore, because what was I doing? And that was when I was living, when I wasn't consciously, I wasn't aware that I was doing it for a while. I wasn't aware that I was constantly like this, having to go out of breath. For what? So I could come back and sit down, and then having to work on regulating my nervous system. What do we get out of rushing though? Because somebody told me.
Absolutely nothing but a headache, for real. Because at some point you have to let go of that as well. Like, once you learn that we're living in like this organized insanity, like it's so many things that you got to let go of, including your perception of time. Believe in divine timing. Like,
Oh
if
yeah.
I didn't get there, by a certain time, then I just wasn't supposed to be there at that time. You know, if I missed out on this event, or I missed out on this, like, it wasn't meant to be for me.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna cry over spilt milk and beat myself up, because I believe in divine timing. Everything happens when it's supposed to happen, and not a moment later or sooner.
And I think it's very unnatural that these corporations are so hell bent on, for example, if I know my schedule is 9 to 5, and I know I woke up that morning, and I wasn't in the mood to, like, I didn't wake up in the right mood to, like, really get myself together in a way where I could be my best self at work. I'm telling you right now, I'm taking my time. If I gotta get there at 9:30, I'm gonna get there at 9:30 feeling good.
Right. And
I'm
everybody,
not
Kanye
rushing
said that, and everybody called him, Kanye said that, and everybody calls him cocky. And Kanye was like, "You
Call
lucky
me
I
cocky
showed up."
then.
He said, "You lucky I
You lucky
showed up."
that you lucky my ass came to work today.
Like, are you crazy? We about to shut all this shit down anyway. Nobody going to
Hey,
work.
they
Like,
end of the day,
lucky I'm here.
they need you there to work for them. So
Right.
they working
Right.
they working for you. And that's the
Ex-
perception that you gotta have.
that's the thing. They need you. So these bosses, your managers, they make you feel like they're like you're inferior, especially like they talk. I It's very rare that you hear of like a respectful, kind boss.
They don't
I feel like at some
do it.
point, it doesn't matter how cool your boss is. At some point, when they're having a bad day, they're gonna take it out on you, because they see you as inferior to them. But
They
in
let that
the
hierarchy get to their head, that title, that ranking. And let me tell
exactly.
you, many of us, it may not look like it in physical form, but in spiritual, we got higher ranks.
Yeah, we definitely have higher, and that's why they don't want you to tap into your spiritual side, because then you'll realize, like, wait a minute, hold on, what am I doing here? You need me for this whole operation to run smoothly. Like,
And my whole thing, if you don't show up
let's
that
not
day,
forget about capitalism, please. Let's not forget why they really ended slavery, because they make more money with us spending money, taxing us, all of that stuff. Like, that's really what
they
capitalism
create
is.
this system because they don't know what it feels like to be in the energy of love. And when you're really in the energy of love, you realize all these things flow to you.
Yeah, it just flows
That's
to
where the
you.
real wealth is at. You could sit down and you could lay down and sleep and make money for real if you want to get really that technical. But these people who are opposing us, they create the system for them to survive on. This is their system. This is not our system. So
Right.
how do we move forward? We're coming to you today to talk about the ways that we could turn this whole shit around and make it work for us.
Because we have the power. Don't feel like you're powerless.
And that's what they feed off. They feed off of you feeling like you're powerless. They feed off of you feeling like you don't have control over your emotions, over your thoughts, over your feelings. Wait till you find out that we choose our feelings as well. We choose
Right.
because we add the value to certain things. If somebody call me ugly, I'ma laugh.
Yeah,
That
because
shit is a
like
lie.
that's what you're really worried about. Like that surface
I'ma
level as
laugh
fuck.
because I don't hold value to that. Oh,
Right.
that's all you got? They're gonna hate me because I don't take certain people look at you and try to find things that you value. The reason why these corporations get to people too is because they know that you value having a home, you value having food, all these things that you're supposed to value, right? But what you don't know is that you could give yourself that without them. You could create your own reality and give yourself these things easily without them. And we will continue to come on these lives and share these tips and how we're doing it, how we're taking measures to create our own way, because the way that they have it set out for us is not, it doesn't work for us. We're
Yeah, it's
natural.
you're
We're
not
nature.
set up for
Yeah.
success. They don't set you up for success at all. So it's like it's all about how you choose to move and the decisions you choose to make. It's all about you doing the work.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's coming from the sky to save you. Not Jesus, not Muhammad,
Not even your family.
not Rastafari.
Nobody's coming to save you, period.
Right. So you got to save yourself. You got to do the work. You got to put the work in. And in order for you to put that work in, you got to get rid of your fears.
Mm. How did you take measures to get over your fears, or do you still have fears that you're still like working through? And what
Yeah,
is
but
that?
very few. Oh, very few. I have very few fears. So one thing that I did was like I do things intentionally. Like if I'm scared of it, like you said, if I feel fear, I'm gonna move regardless. So like if I'm at a theme park, I always use roller coasters, right? Because if I'm at a theme park and I'm looking at a roller coaster that's going stupid high, stupid fast, and the people are screaming, and I'm like, ooh, I get the butterflies, and I feel a little bit fearful at the moment. I know for a fact now I definitely got to get on that roller coaster. I definitely got to get on it because I'm scared, and I have to like my mission is to release my fears, to conquer my fears, because I know once I do that, I can do great things.
Right.
You know, so I'm gonna take that leap of faith. I'm gonna get on that roller coaster. You know, I quit jobs. I quit jobs with like no plan. Like just because I'm like, nah, I got this. Oh, the boss, you thought you could talk to me crazy? You know, you thought you was gonna write me up because I came 2 minutes late. You thought you was gonna think you could check me for being on my phone when I have kids at home. Oh, I quit. Now you're fucked. You know, not even knowing what I was gonna do, but things happen. I swear, I take leap of faith.
You just take
Like I moved.
it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
just take the leap. That's how I conquer my fear. Like I moved from state to state with me and my kids alone. Like no man, no nothing. Me and my kids moved to Pennsylvania. You know what I'm saying? All by ourselves. We didn't even know I had one friend in Pennsylvania. It was just like the rush, you know, taking the leap of faith, like because I trust, I have faith. That's the thing though. You gotta have faith that everything's gonna be okay. You gotta have faith that the universe and you know all of these energies that surround you are working in your favor and not against you. Because if you think that the universe is working against you, you're just gonna be scared. You're gonna be a scared little puppy with your tail in between your legs, not accomplishing anything.
And your
You gotta have
reality
faith.
is going to continue to reflect that, and it's going to cause you to believe. You see in the circle to go back and forth, you
Mm-hmm.
operating in that kind of energy is going to cause certain circumstances to reveal to you what you're already thinking, which is going to reinforce you to think like that more and more. So it does take you having to say, oh, fuck this. Regardless of what's happening around you, you have to realize that these are the effects of outdated thinking that you had before. Before you were thinking this way, and this is why your life is being reflected. So if today you chose to think a different way, to be more progressive, to be more optimistic, you could tell yourself, okay, this is happening right now, but there's gonna be a better tomorrow. Why? Because I'm thinking better, because I'm doing better, because I'm choosing better, because I'm being better.
Right. Because when you know better, you do better.
So it does take kind of like not giving too much reaction to what's happening around you at this moment and utilizing it. All right, it's happening. That's where the acceptance come in. That's where the acceptance come in. That's where the acceptance of this is happening. What could I do with this so I could create a better scenario for myself, for my family, for my friends, for my children? Like it really goes bottom down to how you react to it. Like for me, I know that there are things that I'm terrified of. Like I'm scared of driving. I'm
Driving
out there to drive. Yes, I am. But I need to be out there. I need to be skirt.
Yeah,
I need to be out
we're
there.
gonna have you driving. We're gonna have you driving out
I
here.
have no choice.
For sure.
I cannot sit behind that. There was a point, guys, where I was afraid to speak like this, to talk up. I'm up here just talking with ease because it took me having to do it over and over again, face my fears, face myself, so I could get up here and do what I love, which is to share what I know.
Yeah, a lot of us have that fear of speaking up because I had to go through that too. Like I would be at a point where I know something needs to be said, but I'm scared to say it. So in my mind, I'm like, nah, I really gotta just say it. I have to say it. Because if I don't say it, then I'm never gonna let myself live it down, you know. But think about how they indoctrinate you from the time that you're a child, right? Think about that, and how when you're a kid, when you're in school, you gotta raise your hand to speak, you know. If you're talking in class, they tell you to be quiet, stop talking.
Be a good
It's
slave.
just, huh?
Be a good slave. Be a respectful slave.
Be a obedient slave, you know. Even the Bible tells you to lead not on your own understanding. So it's like that shit. That means I just need to be quiet. Like I went through this as a kid. Then I got my religion telling me to shut up, you know,
they're teaching you how to get beyond, like how to reach outside of yourself. They're not telling you how to trust yourself. They're telling you how to not trust yourself. They're teaching you that everything external is more important, which is a total lie.
Exactly. And
you know,
trusting yourself.
The statement when they be like, it's all within you. For a while, I could not understand for the life of me. What the fuck you mean? Like I kept looking, I kept asking questions, kept asking for advice, because I couldn't trust myself for a very long time. I had a hard time trusting myself, trusting what I thought, thinking that everything I thought was wrong because I kept doing things that showed me, oh, bitch, you got this fucked up. You got it. You know, you're wrong. But what was happening was I kept looking outside myself for these answers, and that was me doing the total opposite of what I was supposed to be doing.
Right. That's you doing what they taught you to do.
Their system is predicated upon keeping us enslaved by programming us to think within their perceptions, opposed to following our own minds, creativity, when everything is.
I was just about to say that. Because when you trust yourself, then you know when you need to speak up.
Mm-hmm.
When you trust yourself and you really start to know thyself, you know, like, okay, I need to say something. Something needs to be said to fix this situation. I feel like a lot of us stay in situations, not even just, not just in intimate relationships, friendships, at jobs, partnerships, because we feel like it's our job. Like we're supposed to just put up with this shit. We're supposed to just put up with whatever, put up with whatever is handed to us and be humble, right? Be humble, put up with it. Don't speak up. And so a lot of us stay in situations that we really shouldn't be staying in way longer than we need to be, because of the fact we're scared.
We rather stress and we rather stay with people that we don't have no business staying with, as opposed to sitting with ourselves. A lot of us are
sitting with yourself
afraid
and
of our
speaking
own
up.
selves.
Yeah.
We're afraid of our own selves. Like, and
Right.
that is really where the issue is at. Like, like I used to run from myself, man. And we could also talk about the fact that certain things that we go through, like looking back now, I am thankful that that's what it took to get me here, because I don't have to ever experience that shit ever again. Not in my older ages. Like, that was my teenage years, my early 20s was a time for me to explore and experience and make mistakes so I could find the answers. And now I got some answers, and I'm pretty sure there'll be times when I'll probably make mistakes, but it won't be the same mistakes. It won't be, I won't purposely put myself in things that I know for a fact won't suit me, as opposed to how I used to move before. I had no idea. I wasn't consciously aware. And that's why we forgive ourselves, because we were only doing what we knew, what we thought we knew.
What we
So we
thought we
only,
were supposed to do.
yeah, we were only doing things that at our level of awareness. So, and many of these things were already written in stone for us. We had to go down certain paths so we could get certain information, so then we could turn around and help ourselves and also help other people. So
Yeah, I had to come inside, child. It was too hot out there.
I'm
Like
I'm getting ready to
I was
go too,
melting.
actually. I gotta go to this cafe so I could get some work done.
Yeah, we was on here
But
for a minute too.
yeah, next week we could talk more about moving. Like, literally, we're gonna limit the conversation on the topic of what is happening out there, and we're gonna really get more to the point where we're like, yo, what could we do now? We're gonna build this community and we're gonna get things moving.
Right.
It's time for us to get to that point. So follow us. So you know when we get on live, almost every Sunday,
Most Sundays.
unless there's like an event happening and we can't show up, but we're always here speaking up about what we want to do and making moves to do it. So if you're with it, if you want to just be happy and be with the winning team,
yeah, we need change. We need change. Like this. Yeah, remember that song by Jay-Z? This can't be life. Remember that song by Jay-Z? This can't be life.
Yeah.
It has to be more, right? And nothing changes until we make those changes, for real. So we're here guiding you guys, and each one teach one. Whatever we talk to y'all about, make sure you carry on, in conversation, bring it up to somebody else. Start talking about it. Start speaking up. Speak out, reach out. That's what it's about.
And
That's a
most
KRS
importantly,
That's one lyric.
I love how you love him. Be honest with yourself at this time, because you being honest with yourself is gonna really put you through doors that nobody else can open for you.
Right.
So don't be afraid to face yourself. And some truths is not pretty. It's not gonna be pretty, but you need to acknowledge certain things within you so you could get past it and start making some real changes in your life, and be honest about what you want. And also, it's okay to want what you want. It's okay to want freedom. It's okay to want a life of abundance and luxury and wealth.
Right.
You are so deserving, and we want to preach that. We want to share that, because it goes back to that too. A lot of us don't recognize that, don't value ourselves enough because of what we've been through. We feel like our life is just a pattern of chaos and doom, and that is a lie.
You know how many people wake up, go to work, pay bills, go to sleep every single day, and then die? They didn't accomplish anything but pay bills to the white man, and it's so sad.
It's a sad
because a lot of people don't realize we're here for more than that. I think we forgot. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Happy Sunday. I think we forgot that we're still at war. Our ancestors lost the war. That's why we're here working for the colonizers. That's why we're here. Like you feel like 90% of the money that you make goes to your debt and bills and survival. Like we don't want to survive anymore. We want to thrive.
Oh hell.
We want to thrive. Like I'm I'm tired of surviving. And when I say, like, I'm not even just talking about money, because we got a lot of people out there who have a lot of money and they're still just surviving. They're not thriving. Just because you got money don't mean that you're happy. A lot of people have so much money they don't know what to do with it, and they lay down in bed at night and they cry themselves to sleep. And that's what we would say another day too. Don't be watching everybody else's lives and comparing. Don't do that. That's the fastest way to send yourself to a damn mental institution. Going crazy, worried about what everybody else got, what everybody else is doing. Be grateful for where you are, enjoy your journey, and continue. While you do that, when you show that gratitude, you manifest a better life for yourself.
Mm-hmm. That's that. That's on period.
And that's on period.
Anyways, guys, I had so much fun
Me
joining
too.
and just sharing the things that we know. Just do whatever you can to be in that love energy. Use today, use the rest of your days to just have fun with this shit. Like, it shouldn't always be about healing and crying and shadow working on. Balance yourself, have fun with it, do things that you love, regardless of how many money you got in the bank account. If you got like $5, use that $5, do something. Do something free.
Yeah, because it's gonna come. It's gonna come back.
Don't allow physical material shit to get
Yeah.
to have you like this. Don't.
Right.
Try not to. We'll see you soon. Follow both of us. If you missed the first part of the live, I'll post it on my YouTube channel, Shandy Love Speaks. It's in the link in my bio.
Yeah, love you guys. And also, we both do life coaching. She does astrological readings.
Yes.
Both of our websites are in our bio.
And
definitely go show some love.
Session. Link us. We are here.
Thanks for your time on this Sunday.
Thank you, guys. We appreciate you.
Mwah. Take care.